Good evening, good evening. There we go. All right, I'm catching up here. My thing's running a little bit slow. I apologize. Welcome to the Cavalier Connection podcast. I'm your host Jack Lowe. Joined as always by tonight my dad Jeff Lowe and Jay Ballard. How we doing tonight on an ugly Tuesday night in Hampton Roads, Dad?
Doing good. 7-1, so doing pretty good.
7-1, Jay.
Yeah, my heart rate is probably come down by now, but uh Saturday was scary, super
Where
scary.
what was the peak of the heart rate, Jay? I gotta know that. Are we looking in the 160s higher? What are we talking about here?
I can
Oh,
still hear it, Jack.
What? I didn't even
Hey,
hear.
Jack can't hear it.
Jack couldn't hear it. Oh yeah,
Jack can't hear it. We had a heartbeat going.
yeah.
Oh, oh.
No, I would
Well,
I would say what do they say? Your max heart rate is supposed to be like 224 minus your age. So whew, I was pushing it. I was pushing it.
well, the heart was pounding. I'm sure. Virginia gets the 17-16 victory in Chapel Hill. I want to remind everybody that this episode is brought to you tonight by A Squared Pizza. You got all your pizza needs. If you ever want to order for game day, make your tailgate easier. Hey, the next home game, not this week, but the following week, Wake Forest comes into town, the final home game before that team over in Blacksburg makes the trip. And you definitely want to check them out, and they will certainly give you a great pizza for your tailgate. You don't have to take out the grill. You don't have to make anything. You don't have to go to one of those other companies to get food. You go to A Squared, you get your deep dish Detroit style pizza. They're the best to do it in Charlottesville, the best to do pizza in Charlottesville. Give them a call, 434-465-2186. Again, that's 434-465-2186. Hey, the Who's are not in town Saturday, but they're still playing at Cal at 3:45. So that's, hey, you're looking for a lunch dinner mix while you're watching the game, give them a call. They'll deliver to you, or go pick it up yourself over at A Squared. Or even Thursday night football, whatever you could ever want. A Squared is the best game day pizza you could eat. With that being said, let's get to our Mincers moment. We had a couple different options that we could have gone with tonight, but I think the obvious one is the one we went with. So we're going to show you this play by the Virginia defense. That was ultimately the final play of the game.
Ball is the running back. That's Ship in motion. Snap. Lopez to his left. Throws. It's caught. And Hall did not get in, and Virginia wins.
Game is not over.
Daryl DeBerry, the referee, telling you the game is not over. Oh my.
The ball carrier, the goal line. The previous play is under further review.
So the ball did not cross the plane, at least on the early look.
So the referee was screaming, "The game is not over! The game is not over!" Reasonably so, because you got players ready to celebrate, trying to shake hands or whatever. And I got to tell you, in the moment from the press box, it was looking like he got the pylon. In my perspective, Jay, what were your thoughts watching at home?
Well, first of all, as you guys know, I was watching probably 6 hours post game, not knowing what was happening. So my reaction was much delayed, but I mean, I didn't think he got in, and so I was hopeful. And I didn't see the hands go up. I kind of felt like we were going to get that call. Of course, it's going to review.
Yeah.
So if there's any part of that ball that touched the pylon before that knee went down, it's
It's 6-2.
Yeah, you just don't know. I mean, if Prevard doesn't come in and finish that tackle, he definitely reaches the ball out and scores that 2-point conversion. So, hats off to him. It was, we didn't deserve to win that game the way we played. Carolina outplayed us, but I'm certainly not going to apologize for any victory. But a lot to.
Did we lose?
I think we might have lost Jay, but regardless, yeah, everything Jay said. There we go. He's back. But yeah, Prevard went in there, finished the tackle. Virginia's showing zone, and they did a great job. The coverage was outstanding. Everybody was covered except for that running back. But luckily, the coverage got down to him before it was too late and took it to the end zone. So that was your Mincers moment. Go check out the Mincers at Stonefield or the corner. With that being said, we're gonna dive into this game, and we're going to break it down. I think one of the biggest talking points of actually, before we get to that, I do want to mention, I should have done this to start. We have a new X account. Please go follow our new X account. Our at Talk UVA Sports still has not been brought back. It's still suspended. So we need new followers on our new X account. Hopefully, a lot of you can flood over to there. Is it at Go Who's Podcast? So I have that right?
At Go News Podcast.
Yes. So at Talk UVA Sports is the old one. I really doubt we're going to ever get that back. But so go check out at Go Who's Podcast. We're streaming on there tonight. So it's really exciting to be on there and happy to be back on the social media game. It just sucks. Unfortunately, Elon has not come through for us. So for now, go follow at Go Who's Podcast, and we'll be posting on there. So
I don't know if we're on there, Jack. First of all, I don't
We
know
are.
if
We are. No, we are.
Oh, we are. Oh, okay.
We're live on X, so we got people watching. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes. Thank you so much. So with that being said, one of the bigger talking points with the close game Saturday, with the game against Louisville and Washington State, the last few games, the offense has not been what we saw out of them early in the season. And I have some audio I want to play from Coach Elliott's press conference post-game when I asked him about that. Let's hear what he had to say.
What would you say is the biggest difference in the offense that we saw in September, early in the season, and now the last kind of 3 games they haven't been as explosive?
I think it's inches. It's a game of inches, and we got to get our rhythm back. We've had to kind of plug and play with some guys. Continuity is a big thing. So we got Brady back, but then we lose Ross, and then X is now out. So just kind of getting in rhythm with all the different pieces that are there, and now people have got more film to be able to find ways to try and stop us, and then we got to make some plays. Right, there's some plays that before we've made, and right now we just an inch or two off. But in my experience, even as a play caller, there's never been a season where it was always perfect on offense, but we're doing a much better job of taking care of the ball, and the defense is getting turnovers, which gives us a chance. But I'm not panicking, right? Because we're finding ways to win, right? So at the end of the day, we're finding ways to win, and I know that the group that got off to the fast start is the same group that's in that locker room, and we'll evaluate this game and see the areas where we can improve. Like last week, we protected the quarterback really well. This week we didn't do that as much, and so we'll get back to work and get ready to go play a good Cal team out in Cal.
And how often do you?
So there you have Coach Elliott talking about the offense the last few weeks. What are y'all's thoughts? I mean, obviously thoughts on the offense. Still struggled immensely. Some of that might be riding off an unhealthy Chandler Morris with his left shoulder. Some of it's riding off of missing Cam Ross, missing Xavier Brown. But what are y'all's thoughts on what he had to say in the offense? I'll start with you, Jay.
Well, I mean, they talked. You listen to the players, and they've mentioned this quite a bit too. But there's a lot of film out there at this point in the year where teams are scouting your tendencies. That's one of the things that maybe, hopefully, Coach Kitchings is looking at, maybe breaking some tendencies to kind of show some different things. I know Coach Elliott talked about it. I think it was today that I was listening to his conference where he said, you don't want to get away too far from what works and what has worked, but you do have to kind of show some different things sometimes. And injuries, they're a part of the game. Everybody's got them, but it does seem like we've had more than our fair share of injuries this year. Unfortunately, we lose Zay for the season. But that's why you bring in a Harrison Whaley. That's, Noah Vaughn's coming back. Jamari's carrying a heavy load. I wish we'd have given Whaley a few more carries on Saturday, actually. He looked like he had some juice, and he didn't get a whole lot of work. So I'm hopeful that maybe we'll get him a few more carries. But Chandler's clearly banged up, but most quarterbacks are at this point in the year. Nobody's healthy right now. They're all banged up, and it's it's a matter of executing and Saturday, a lot of it was just one-on-one. We got beat. We didn't win our one-on-one matchups very often. I mean, they had a sack or two at least on a 3-man rush. I mean, that's just beating a man heads up 2 men sometimes.
I was just saying, beating a couple guys.
Yeah, and then Ball Hawk talked about this on his post game show. The goal line plays, yeah, we can criticize for not running, and I would have preferred to see 2 runs from the 1 yard line. However, when you criticize, you do have to be cognizant of. I mean, Rodgers just the turf monster got him. Otherwise, that's just a. I mean, here's a easy completion touchdown. It's right in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the 4th down, we didn't chip the defensive end as well as we should have to create a better passing angle for Chandler. He didn't, little things. It's just little stuff that is correctable. So I hope, when we had the first possession, we scored the field goal on, we had a 3rd and 6. We ran it, picked up, I think 2 or 3, but then we didn't follow up and go for it on 4th. I thought, we've done that all year, kind of shown that run on 3rd and 5 or 6, but we go for it on 4th down, and we've been very successful. We didn't do that Saturday. But we did enough to win. Obviously there are some concerns though.
Ted.
Yeah, I'm. In the moment you overact a little bit, but it definitely some concerns on offense. But I'm just happy to be 7-1. So we found a way. We keep finding a way to win. It's funny what Coach Elliott said about it's a game of inches, because while you were down there asking that question, I posted on Facebook on our account a matter of inches. The exact same thing he had just said. I mean, it was a matter of inches that we got to win. And I think Coach Elliott has mentioned this as well. These are all games we lost last year.
Yep.
I can't believe we were sacked 6 times in the game. It's just unbelievable because, I mean, the offensive line's done so well this year, and I mean they are on him on Chandler Morris. He had no time to throw the football, and then when he did, he was inaccurate. And I think Ball Hawk talked about. You were telling me, Jax. I haven't been able to listen.
Chandler Morris.
Yes, I don't know what I just said, but
yeah. If you want me to re-explain it,
yeah, go ahead.
If you're talking about Chandler Morris, so Ball Hawk talked about, and you probably heard this, Jay, what Schaub was telling him about his left shoulder and how the injury is affecting him. And I believe it's Morris is having a tougher time throwing to his right than he is to his left. I think I have that the right way around. So the way he torques his body, when he throws to the right, his left shoulder turns a certain way where he gets a shock of pain in his shoulder or his arm. When he goes to the left, or if he's just throwing straight, he has no problem. He can throw the ball as well as he does. But when he throws to the right, that's kind of something that Schaub has been picking up on. And he can tell as a former quarterback, there's like a level where you're about to feel the pain if you turn it anymore. So maybe he short arms the ball and overthrows him a little bit, or he throws through the pain and then the ball's not going where he wants it to. So
that stuff makes me nervous though. But and one thing about, and I know that I don't know where or who's been talking about Chandler Morris not being 100% into this thing, and all in, because Coach Elliott said something, along the lines of, if you think, and you said it too, Jack, that he says something about, if you think that Chandler's not balled in, he's balled in. And I'm like, who would even say he's not? Because that guy's a gamer. At the end of the day, he made one of the worst interceptions you could throw in that game, and he came and he saved kept it from being a pick six. To have an injured shoulder and to dive in there and make that tackle like he
on
did.
The line.
He always puts his body on the line trying to win, and he knows the pain that's coming. He's a gamer for sure. There's quarterbacks who they make business decisions. They'll step out. You go right ahead. Somebody else going to make the tackle, or he's gone. That's not Chandler Morris.
How many times have we said on this podcast, Coach Elliott said this again, and I know I've said this time and time, especially back in the offseason, that there's 4 stages to a program: lose big, lose close, win big.
Yeah.
And Jeff and I were talking, Jack, before you came on and before we started recording. I really think Virginia is about to enter a period of sustained success. And by that, I mean 7-8 wins.
You mean you
on-
believe that, Jay?
Yes, I do. I believe that. And it's strictly tied to the monetary donations. I mean, it's about the money. Yes, Coach Elliott has to lead the troops, has to get them ready to play, has to make the right choices. But there's a lot of people involved in player choices now beyond the coaches and even the coaching staff. You know, you've got we just hired another person in our front office either late last week, early this week. I can't remember. But we had just hired another position, you know, for like player evaluation or something like that. So, I mean, I think Virginia is fully vested to make football good. And as we've said on other shows as well, when Virginia puts their mind to being good at something, they become good at it. And I think, you know, this is the first fruits of that labor.
I would agree. And you've seen earlier this year, and this is still pinned out a little bit, but especially like in the NC State game or whatever, Elliott made it very clear some of the adjustments he wanted to be better at this year. One of them was being better on third down, being better in the red zone. And man, early in the season, they were converting every third down. And if they weren't getting it on third down, they were getting it on fourth down, and they were being successful in the red zone. So I 100% agree. If they put their minds to something, they can absolutely do it. With that being said, what you're 7-1.
Talk about that comment, Jack, real quick.
Another home night. Yeah, ACC Huddle could be there. I've also heard rumors of another show being there that's a little bit bigger than ACC Huddle. Probably won't happen going by College Game Day. I don't know if y'all have seen that. The thing is there's not many great games happening that weekend. There's a couple of ranked matchups that could compete with it. Who knows? But a night game, it's going to be interesting. I'll admit that I was hoping for a noon or 3:30, but that's just me. I wanted to get out of there early, but that's just me being selfish.
We're not 30 minutes down the road.
Well, yeah, we're not.
And also, I looked up hotel rooms, and there's 2 rooms available, and they're over $1,000 a night, and everything else is unavailable. So I think they're waiting to see. I think they're waiting to see what's coming up on that.
What
night.
you need to do, Jeff, is go to the campgrounds and look for a cabin at a campground. I'm serious. That just came to me. But you know, they have the actual cabins that have beds and stuff. I mean, you're just looking to somewhere to sleep.
I was looking. So Virginia basketball plays Black Friday the night before Virginia Tech play, because I've been wanting to go to that game, and obviously the prices for hotel rooms are insane in Charlottesville. I was actually looking at Richmond hotels that cut the trip down like an hour and a half or whatever. So, and you know, there's a couple nice Super 8s, some Motel 6s. They've got like $39 a night rooms.
Jack,
Jack. Don't, not in Richmond, son. Not. We're not doing Motel 8s in Richmond.
You're supposed to have fun with it.
Jack, you got a couch in West Point that shaves about an hour and 20 minutes probably off your trip, maybe a few minutes more.
Well, but you know, there's a lot.
You got the couch in West Point. You can sleep on that anytime you want.
Yeah, it's a little bit safer than where you're talking about Richmond.
Yeah,
but the point is hotel rooms are hard to come by, whether in Charlottesville or around Charlottesville. And for us who are commuting 2.5 hours, and for Jay, it's like an hour and a half, whatever it is from West Point. It's tough. But you know, the night games will be fun. It'll be a lot of exposure. A lot of fans will be. I'm sure. I would expect there to be a good crowd, especially if we can beat Cal this coming week. And you know, it'll be a fun atmosphere, fun night in Charlottesville, and that's a big game too. People disregard the fact that Wake Forest is looking like an okay team now in the ACC. They helped us out taking down SMU, and now they're kind of contending there. And it's a huge game for Wake to try and get up in the standings. And for Virginia, you control your own destiny right now after SMU falling. So it's going to be really.
Yeah, Wake is a terrible call against Georgia Tech away from being 7-1 themselves. I mean, they're 6-2, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking. I was confused.
They were, if that call was, they didn't call an offsides. It was a blatant offsides on Georgia Tech. And it was in a situation where if they called the offsides, Wake gets the first down and they're taking knees to run out the clock, victory formation. I mean, it was over.
Yeah, no, you're correct. I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah.
They were about to rush the field at Wake. Everybody was gathered to rush, and They failed. That was a rough loss. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Wake Forest is a good team. I judged them harshly when I saw the score to their opener when it was like, I'm
10-9
going to say a name and it's going to be wrong. But they were playing like Eastern Mennonite and it was like 10-9 or something. And
like
I'm
East
like,
Texas A&M or
yeah, they must be horrible.
A directional school.
Yeah, but they have certainly righted the ship, and they got a new head coach, and he's obviously doing some good things there. So it's definitely not one that we can take for granted, and Cal is certainly not one that we can take for granted.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get a listen to some sound here from the one and only defensive tackle who had a lot of tackles on the night, Jason Hammond. Let's hear what he had to say post game.
Were you out there for the 2-point play?
I was.
So you were out there for the touchdown play as well, probably.
Yes.
Right? So what's I don't know if I'd say panic. What's the panic like? Like you realize, shoot, this is the game on the line and getting set.
I don't want to say it was a panic. I think I was actually kind of happy that we went on, that they went for two because yeah, I was happy that they went for two because I knew if it came down to it, the defense would be the one to make the play. So I was ecstatic actually. Like so, I'm glad we were the ones that got to end it and got to make the standpoint in the game. So
how does it feel to be a part of a team that has beaten a coach like Bill Belichick?
Oh man, awesome man. I wish you respected my coach a little more, but other than that, man, he's a coach that's done a lot of great things in his past in the NFL, and even if we're playing at the college level, man, he's still a coach that's done a lot. A very respected coach, very very knowledgeable coach, a great ball coach. They have a great team over there, so it was a hard earned win, and it feels great to beat a coach like that. So I'll see it.
So there was Jason Hammond. If you want to see the full interview, that was only a portion of it because you can't put too big of videos into our streaming software here. Check out the Cavalier Connection on YouTube. There's full interviews with him, Kennesaw State. I think that is correct. But
yeah, thank you, UVA fans 62. Appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Full interviews with him, Chandler Morris, Mitchell Melton, a couple others. Jaden Thomas. Go check out Cavalier Connection. What I just see the smile from my dad. It throws me off. Like he's getting ready to say something funny.
I don't have anything to say. No, that was good. No, I was wondering. We were wondering what Belichick had said.
I was wondering.
So I don't know if he said anything direct. What I do know is I heard that he refused to shake Elliott's hand after the game, and he might have said something pregame about the program. I don't know. I'm not an insider. I just know that that's what I heard. So, but I hate to hear it, really.
It doesn't shock me, but I mean,
that's what I said too. It doesn't really shock me. But that was Jason Hammond, and I like to hear, and you guys can comment on this too if you want, the confidence that him and the defense has. Like, hey, we get a chance to end the game here. No disrespect to the offense, but they're excited. Like, hey, we have a chance. We have an opportunity. We get to get it done now.
Yeah, I was glad they went for two myself because I didn't think our offense could get in the end zone again. And I thought
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row, the defense second half stepped up big time.
Yeah, stepped up huge. Very concerned about the offensive line. We won't beat Cal. However, I do believe that if we get the offense clicking again for this last stretch of the games, CFP is definitely possible, says Mr. Cadell 6780. I want to get the numbers right there. I get the concern. The offensive line, I think a big problem you could say with that, and we'll get to Dev's comment in just a moment, is the fact that we've rotated so much. It's been musical chairs on musical chairs on musical chairs. And now you're looking at one of the strengthiest offensive lines we've had back since the opening weekend. You have Drake Metcalf back at right guard. You have Brady Wilson in there. And they stunk. They were bad. And I think the problem is you're trying to get everybody acclimated to playing with each other again. There's a chemistry thing in there. But UNC also they didn't bring pressure, but they got pressure. They have some really nice defensive linemen on that team, some really strong guys on that defensive line. I think it was just a mixture, one big storm. I think they'll be back and better against Cal. I really hope they will. I'll say this too before we get to Dev's comment, because I wanted to bring this up. And Jay, you might have heard this from Ballhawk. I talked last week about Dakota Twitty being out, and he is a huge luxury that UVA fans don't realize how important he was to this offense. He was great. He was a former receiver. Obviously, he could run his routes really well. He was great in that mesh concept, running drag routes for short yardage situations. But his blocking ability, whether it's pass blocking or run blocking, was outstanding. Dakota Twitty was a luxury to this team that most people don't realize how important he was. His run blocking was on the outside was so good, and now you've got edges flying through. So I think that's a huge thing that it kind of flies under the radar.
I would love to see this team with McKeelan Thomas at one tackle, and the big boy from Louisville.
Yeah,
that is out for the year.
Monroe Mills.
Yeah, Monroe Mills. I would just love to see this team with those guys healthy. I mean, you can't be much better than 7-1, but goodness gracious. I mean, you talk about just being able to overwhelm people with your offensive line. Right now we're surviving. We would be thriving. But they've done a good job. Last year in North Carolina, aside from Virginia Tech, was the low point in my opinion. Like we got completely embarrassed at 100%. Home. Sacked 10 times in that game. Now, granted, 4 of them were probably Calandria running out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
But you said something earlier about, Chandler not being very good or very accurate. But that's kind of what you saw from AC. When you don't have time, even when you do get time, you're so sped up that it does impact your accuracy. It does impact your decision making. And that's what pressure does. That's why it's so important that you get it on their quarterback. And in the second half, we kind of did a better job of that because first half, their guy threw for more than he averaged in a game in the first half. He was just picking us apart with no pressure. And then in the second half, we got some pressure and, we went from there.
Yeah. Dev made a comment, and I thought it was really interesting, saying, gotta say, Keenan Stadium pales in comparison to Scott. Made the trip from Charlottesville and was very underwhelmed. Dev, you are not alone. So both me and my dad both made the trip, went credentialed. And I took a lap around the stadium, and I got to be honest, I was also underwhelmed. There's not much to see in that stadium at all. At least like at Scott, you have the hill, you have the arches, the walk of fame, or whatever they want to call it, George Welsh's statue. You got a whole lot of stuff to see. It's a big stadium. In Chapel Hill, I was not impressed. It's really just, it almost felt like a basketball arena, but a very big one in a sense of it's pretty skinny. Around like the concourses, so not much room to walk. There's concessions. They had good looking concessions, but other than that, it was very underwhelming. Dad, what were your thoughts on the stadium?
Jack, I don't think you've ever seen a concession stand you didn't care for.
Well, what were your thoughts on the stadium?
No, I mean, and it's kind of what you expect crowd wise. You're a little underwhelmed because the team struggled. So they went from sold out and packed houses, Bill Belichick, to now,
it was a sellout.
The biggest thing was when the students went to took the shirts off and were waving them around in the student section.
Yeah.
And Dev makes another good point. I want to get to him, and then I want to get to the comment before. The TV side, the one thing I did not like, and we're spoiled with our jumbotron or whatever you call it, but the screens were small, local. It was maybe standard definition. It might have been 1980s definition. And then the scoreboard situation, you got to look around to see a score, like a clock, like it's in the middle in like 3 to 4 different locations.
The clock
is now on the scoreboard.
And the scoreboards are
it's not a scoreboard.
Like you got to look now from our view, not as much. If you're in the stands, you got to look so high up to see the scoreboard. Like it's and like you said, and no scoreboard on
the saying.
Yeah. So it was kind of frustrating. I mean, yeah, we're spoiled, but I'm like, UNC, aren't you better than this? Don't you have Jordan as a donor? Like, come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? Fix it up.
Can we get
the stadium?
I wanted to mention this one. Chandler's hurt. Jamie Sharper. James Sharper.
James Sharper. Do you know something we don't know?
No, I'm asking. Is this?
I'm asking James if he knows something we don't know. But
I know what you're
saying. Well, he is correct.
I'm asking, is this Jamie Sharper?
or James Harper.
Or James Harper. James Harper. I'm thinking Jamie Sharper the whole time. You're right.
Goodness.
Listen, James, thank you for tuning in. And I wanted to get, because I'm like, Jamie, we'll bring you right on the episode right now. UVA greatness.
Chandler is hurt 100%. His left shoulder, left upper arm is absolutely hurt. There's no question about it, and there's nothing we can do about it. He can manage it. He can take painkillers or whatever. That's all he can do. It's gonna hurt no matter what. Wish I had. That's right. Wish I had Shaper money. There you go.
Thanks.
You
Sorry,
put it,
Jack.
You put it.
He said, "Wish he had Sharper's money." Yeah, we're right there with you, James.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
All I could see was James. In my brain, I saw Jamie Sharper.
You saw what you wanted. The heart saw what the heart saw.
No, I'm happy to have James Harper in.
Yeah, but
not quite as happy as if it would have been Jamie Sharper.
I thought we had hit it big time. Oh man.
Yeah, for sure. So overall, the team is 7-1, right? Was a play away from being 6-2. Here's the way to look at it. I think Brad Franklin tweeted this one earlier. Virginia is one play away from being 8-0 right now with that game at NC State, but they're also about 4 or 5 plays away from having 4, 5, or 6 losses on the schedule right now with some of these last second plays. And with Cam Ross, that'll be a big 100%. Cam Ross was a tough loss. You saw Cam Courtney. You saw a lot of Jaden Thomas, actually. Jaden Thomas went to try and fulfill that role. Not quite as explosive, but he had a nice punt return. You saw he had one good punt return that was pretty nice. Cam Ross will definitely be big when he comes back. He'll be another threat.
Courtney had a bad drop on a big third down. Kind of early in the game that Chandler, it was a tough catch, but Chandler put it in the bucket from probably a 30-yard gain and just went right through his arms. Tough catch, but at that level, it's one you got to make. And that's the other thing. We're not really helping Chandler right now. Some plays that we might have made previously, we're not making. When early in the year, we'd get to a 3rd and 1 or 2, even 3, no problem. We're going to get this. I have no doubt. Now it's back to, well, I'm not sure if we don't get it. Should we go for it or just punt? Because I don't know if we can pick it up, and we got to get back to some power football, and being able to pick up those short yardages so we can, really get drives going. We got to get that NASCAR package in there.
And we'll preview Cal later this week. I said this last week, so it's hard to say this again, but I really think they're going to. I just don't know why they haven't. I really thought they were going to get the run game going against UNC early and dominate offensively because of the run, and they didn't. So now it's hard to say that again for Cal, but I at some point the run game has got to explode like it did earlier in the season. Now I know X is out. We don't have X. Taylor is at 100%. I don't know about Taylor, actually. That's an interesting point, Dev. But at some point, the run game's got to explode like it did earlier in the season. Whether it's Taylor breaking free, falling forward, I mean, at some point, they've got to get it going again. This offensive foundation is built upon getting the run game going and being able to run play actions, run the mesh, do what they've done well early in the season. So it'll be interesting when they go to Cal. A whole new training schedule for this week, trying to get to Cal the long way. They're going to be getting there Thursday morning. You have something, Jay?
Yeah, I was just going to say I watched Cal Virginia Tech on Friday, and listen, if you don't get the run game right on Cal, you're losing this football game. Virginia Tech dominated on the ground. You knew it was coming, and it was a lot of quarterback. It was a lot of drones. It was a lot of
Virginia Tech. Kyron Drones completed, I think, a total of 7 passes in that game.
Yeah, it was a lot of just drones, right, drones left. He'd fake the handoff, keep it, read option style, and they never made an adjustment. And he would just run free for 5, 6, 7 yards. Cal's run defense on Friday night, it probably won't be this way Saturday at 3:45. But on Friday night, that run defense was atrocious. And if we don't get the run game going against them, then it may not get going again because, we need to make that a priority for this game. It has to be.
Yep. 100%. And yeah, that game went to double overtime. And, there's some controversy with some calls and whatever, but it did. And Cal ended up getting the better of Virginia Tech. Or no, sorry, Virginia Tech got the better of Cal.
Yeah.
Got it backwards. And Cal's going to be angry. They're going to want to win. They're going back home. The team's going to get there Thursday. Coach Elliott said in his press conference today. It's going to be really interesting. And again, we'll preview that more. But overall, team is 7-1. And one of my biggest things I want to say to the fans that might be listening is please enjoy this. You would much rather have this, our bad wins and almost losses, than you would our almost wins. As my dad mentioned earlier, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, we had endless amount of games where we came down to the wire, down one possession in fourth quarter, can't get it done. Go to overtime, can't get it done. Can't win the close game. And now Virginia has won 4 close games in a row. And you need to enjoy this, enjoy the winning. Don't take it for granted because it's incredible the run we're on right now. 7-1. Virginia is ranked number 15 in the country, the top 15 in the country. Enjoy this run. I know you want to trash the team. I know you want to call out everything bad that's happening. And I understand and I agree there should be some concern there. But Virginia is 7-1. Let's enjoy that. Let's enjoy them being number 15 in the country, and let's keep riding the streak out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Dev just had a comment. We touched on this a little bit earlier, but yeah, we win this week. It's very possible. It's pretty much, I think, down to us and maybe a game between Texas Tech and whoever they're playing. It's a
pretty
Big
much
12 game. I was going to say though, I mean, if you've been reading, if you're not reading the CavalierConnection.com, not checking out the articles there, do yourself a favor. If you'd have been reading in August, you'd have known this was coming. That's all I'm going to say. Because this was called out in an article. The college, you can Google it. The Google won't lie. The college football playoff dark horse you should have seen coming was written, I think, on August 13th. Go check it out.
I just know that I've got my people talking to the people at College Game Day, so looking like they come. I'm kicking for the cash. So warming the leg up.
That's not something we want
looking
to
see. Kicking over a couple sheds in the backyard.
I was gonna say I've kicked over Jeff Dad's barn in the backyard for 33 yards many a time.
Goodness gracious.
So no problem, Sarah. Just gotta loosen it up. But this podcast is gonna go big places with the money I'm gonna win.
So my question is, are we allowed? If not, that's okay. You can tell me no. Are we allowed to tell people what else is happening that day with the Wake Forest game, or do we have to keep that a secret for another couple days?
We got to hold tight. To make sure. But the one thing, we'll probably be doing a little live. We're going to be going live. Plan to go live at probably around at the old University Hall parking lot early in the day. And
that's something we can say. You can look out for us.
Yeah, a little meet and greet and potential giveaway. But more to come on that.
Yes. So at the very least, we can tell you, show up to U-Haul. That's where everybody goes to tailgate anyways. We will be there tailgating and having a good time and maybe doing some other stuff too. That's all we can say. So look out for us there. That's going to wrap up our recap tonight of the UNC game. Do you guys have any closing thoughts on, the season, the UNC game in general, Dad?
Enjoy the ride.
And yes, Dev. Yes. The household will be having Christmas this year.
Christmas for the lows.
We've got Christmas.
I've already cashed it out. Money has hit the account.
And he put it all in on another bet.
No, I didn't.
I just hope it wasn't the Commanders plus 11 because he lost. He went 1-2. Terrible week for the podcast picks. A terrible 2-7. Jack, so impressive. Listen. It's the hottest bet in the business today. You got to check out the Famous in Our Own Minds Pick'em. It comes out usually Friday or Saturday. Jack is on a freaking heater Now, it's not Jack's on a heater, but it's the opposite of whatever Jack picks. So I think Jack is 5-16 on his weekly picks.
And I don't do it on purpose.
The opposite, if you just bet against whatever Jack says, you are raking in the dough.
It truly is, like, seriously, it's truly incredible. I'm being so serious right now. I don't understand how I can get so many wrong. Like, I could guess them and I would be doing worse.
Jack, it's not even that you got it wrong. It's that the closest you came to covering one of your bets was like 11 points.
I don't even understand. I don't understand. Hey, I did have
Jack
one bet
under 43.5. It hits like 80.
I don't understand it. But listen, I believed in the Who's over 6.5 as well, Dev. I didn't have money on it because, the legal requirements. But yes, that bet did hit. I tried to encourage my dad to take the anytime touchdown for Terrell Harris Saturday. He didn't listen. Terrell Harris got his touchdown. But, it is what it is because we were out of the state of Virginia.
Off the record doesn't count. It's got to be on the record.
Got to be in the books, huh? But that's going to wrap us up. Hey, like I said, continue to believe in this team. They are 7-1. Enjoy this run. Don't dismantle them every chance you get, okay? They've won 7 games this year. And go follow us on X at GoWho's Podcast. Go follow the new X account and check out the CavalierConnection.com. We've got preview articles and more coming up. But that's going to wrap us up tonight. We hope you enjoyed. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. Go Who's.
Go Who's.